guys? It's Luke bringing you my top 6 value plays for Draftkings in the 2021 Open Championship over in England. In this video, I'm going to cover my top 6 picks for my custom model, priced $7,500 and below on the Draftkings slate for this weekend. This model is going to be mathematically based, as all my models are. I use a data-based approach to take on all daily fantasy sports. When it comes to golf, I like to characterize a golf course, take a look at how a player plays over a season, and see whether it's a good fit for them. I obviously use recent form, career trajectory, a lot more factors as well, but that's the main gist of it. I use that analysis, and it's something that I've learned as an engineer over the years. I use techniques, tools, modeling abilities, visualizations that I've all learned through engineering to help take on DFS. My goal is to give you guys tools, some projections, also give you guys visualizations to help simplify your DFS lineup making. On this video, we're covering the PGA Tour, but I don't just cover golf. I also cover the NFL, football. I cover basketball in the NBA, also MMA with the UFC. So make sure to check out my channel for all kinds of data-based content. I try to provide as much facts as I can and try to leave the opinions on the doorstep. I also, on top of my video content, I have a Patreon page where I offer all kinds of projections as well. As of right now, I have it up for my PGA Tour stuff. I also have it up for some of my MMA and UFC stuff. Right now, it's just $1 to join for either sport. You get my projections for every player on the golf slate, every fighter for an MMA slate. You also get my ownership, you get some game theory notes, and I'm going to be adding even more tools over the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure to check out my channel if you're looking for data-based content. With all that out of the way, let's hop into my value picks for this week's slate. At number 6, we have Carlos Ortiz coming in at a small price tag of just $6,400. I think he's an intriguing option for the Open Championship because he has a very complete game. He's coming in with semi-decent form over the last month. Again, it's just Monday afternoon, and I expect the golf course to play difficult regardless of the weather conditions at play. But as of right now, it looks like it's going to be blustery, very windy, perhaps even some precipitation in the area. So as a result, it's going to be a difficult golf course, playing even harder than usual. We could even see something over par winning this golf tournament. If we take a look at Carlos Ortiz and where he's excelled in the past, a majority of those golf courses are hard golf courses. He's done well in windy conditions as well. So I think the golf course, the setup, is all going to play directly into his cards. If we take a look at how he's played over the last 50 rounds, he's gaining in all 4 major statistical categories, like I mentioned before, but is notably gaining 0.59 strokes per round with his short game. He's somebody who's very good at getting up and down. He has all the shots in his bag, the flop shot, the low runner, etc. He's also somebody who's a decent putter. If we take a look at how he putts on the bent grass surface, he's even better. He putts to a 0.18 strokes average per round higher on the surface, which is great to see as well. He comes in number 5 in the field in sand save percentage. There's tons of bunkers there at Royal St. George's. So overall, I love that his short game's good. He's got a very stout sand game. He's obviously done well at hard conditions before, especially windy conditions. And he only costs $6,400. He's only $400 over the minimum. Most of the guys priced around him aren't even PGA Tour players. We hardly even see them on the European Tour, a lot of those guys. So it gives you a lot of potential, a good course fit, and a lot of salary flexibility as well. And that's why he comes in at number 6. For my number 5 value play, we have Talor Gooch, a $6,600 golfer, so $200 more expensive. He's been absolutely fantastic of late, coming in with great form. He has 6 straight cuts made. He also has some solid finishes in that stretch as well. I believe 3 top 26 finishes. A 9th place finish may have been his highlight. He's also done well with the statistics. It's not just been the finishes. He's been getting 0.82 strokes per round on approach and an impressive 0.32 strokes around the green over that stretch. That's exactly what I'm looking for Royal St. George's. You're looking for somebody who has a lot of precision with their ball striking, somebody who's not going to miss greens very often. He's going to hit it to the right tiers of greens. And when he does, he's able to get out of that trouble. That's what you get with Talor Gooch. He's also been relatively okay with his accuracy off the tee. Towards the beginning of the year, he was hitting closer to 65% of fairways. He was a slight gainer off the tee. Over the last 32 rounds, he is a slight loser off the tee, only hitting 55% of fairways. So I definitely think he has to get that strained out to contend this week. And that's really all he has going against him. If we take a look at how he's been putting, he's been a neutral putter. For Talor Gooch, that's more than okay. But if you take a look at his bent grass splits, he's 0.22 strokes better per round on the bent grass surface. So if he's able to come in with some momentum with the flat stick, if he continues to ball strike it like he has been, he's going to contend. He's going to put up a top 25 finish. And at $6,600 at a major championship, that's all you can really ask for. And finally, for my number 4 value pick, we're getting into some of the spicy names here. It's going to be Rickie Fowler, a $7,300 golfer, and I think that Rickie's game has been trending well for the last month and a half. I wanted to play him at the Rocket Mortgage. I played him a few weeks before that as well when he ended up posting a top 10. I forget the exact tournament that was. But overall, he's been in this upward trajectory for some time. The putter's starting to come around as well. He's gained shots gained putting his last 4 events. So at this point, it's more than a trend. He's establishing a pattern here at this point. If you take a look at how he's been playing over the last 32 rounds, just like the other guys here, he's hitting 64.06% of fairways. That's an elite number for the field. That's a top 25 number. He's also gaining 0.53 strokes around the green per round. That's top 5 in the field. He's been an elite around the green player pretty much his entire career, so that's not very surprising. If you take a look at how he's been doing on the bent grass surface over his career, he's 0.3 strokes better per round on the surface. That's even better than what he typically is. Typically, Rickie Fowler is a great putter. He becomes one of the best in the world on the bent grass surface. So if he comes out, he stripes the ball like he has been recently. Again, he's posted some good results, a 4th place finish at the U.S. Open. I think he's going to come out in top 5. He's only $7,300. He has that top 5 potential. So he is one of my favorite value plays on the slate, despite being $7,300. At number 3, we have Daniel Berger, a $7,400 golfer, which makes absolutely no sense. He's somebody who's been completely mispriced by Draftkings. He was one of my core golfers for the week. He makes a appearance here as well because he's priced below $7,500. Just last week at the John Deere, he was over $11,000. He was the number 1 price golfer in the field and obviously was a fade for me. He came in with 28% ownership, a ton of people backing him. I just didn't think that was warranted in that field. But now that we get him in the 7K range, he's priced around guys that hardly play on the PGA Tour, people that have really bad form, or even guys that have been playing well of late or that are just terrible players historically. He's, again, just blatantly mispriced. He doesn't particularly have a good skill set for the course. He does lose around the green. He is solid off the tee on approach and putting, though. So if he's able to stay out of trouble, if he has a good week, he theoretically is not going to have to lean on that around the green game. Over the last 32 rounds, he's been gaining 0.71 strokes per round on approach, 0.33 strokes off the tee. He's very accurate with his driver as well, doesn't put himself in much trouble. So what you're really hoping for this week is that Berger catches some fire. He doesn't miss many greens, doesn't put himself in many bad situations, because if we take a look at his historical numbers, that's when he gets into trouble. He puts a lot of double bogeys, a lot of triple bogeys when he misses greens, and you're really hoping that he doesn't do that this week. Even though he's chalk, he's one of the top 20 players in the field, again, priced in that 50 to 60 range, which is a little bit, doesn't make sense for me. So if we take a look at my number 2 target for this week, we have Cameron Tringale, a $6,800 golfer who is somebody who's going to benefit a ton from the firm and fast conditions. He's somebody who gains in all 4 statistical categories. He's hardly positive with the driver, mostly due to his lack of distance. He's somebody who averages 288 yards per drive. That's well below the tour average. And as a result, he has a hard time gaining off the tee. If we take a look at how accurate he's been, he's hit 61.6% of fairways. That's more than enough fairways. That's well above the tour average right there. And again, he's going to get some extra rollout with the firm and fast fairways. We're expecting 30 to 40 yards of extra distance on average for your tee shots. And if that's the case, Tringale is going to have a very, very good time at the at the Open Championship. If we take a look at how he's been playing in the other 3 categories over the last 32 rounds, he's getting 0.48 strokes on approach, 0.37 strokes around the green, and 0.53 shots gained putting. Those are all elite numbers, all in the top 20 for the field. And his shots gained total number of 1.35 shots gained per round is top 15 in the field. At $6,800, I think it's also another blatant misprice. He's somebody that the casuals aren't going to be as keen to, though. Again, he's not a household name. And I think he's going to give you some excellent ownership leverage for that reason. So that's why he comes in at number 2 ahead of Daniel Berger. Again, he's not nearly the same player. He does grade out pretty similarly, though, given their skill sets. And he's going to come in at lower ownership. And finally, for my number one value play, this was also another core play of mine. This is the most blatant misprice out of the entire field, and that is Sam Burns at $6,300. Sam Burns at $6,300 just doesn't make any sense. I can't even make any excuses for why he'd be in that range. I honestly can't think of any for Daniel Berger as well. But he won the Valspar this year. He has 2 second place finishes, 2 other top 5 finishes as well. If you take a look at how he's been playing over the last 8 events, he's getting a whopping 0.67 strokes per round on approach and half a stroke per round putting. Those are both top 10 numbers. He's been elite in both categories, and to be honest, those are the most important statistics for any golf tournament. Again, while he's not great around the green, he's a little bit of a sprayer ball off the tee. If he gets hot, if he's able to get accurate, he's able to put together a round or two, it's not going to matter. He's a top 25 player in the world. He's priced in that $6,000 range. You're really just hoping that he puts together an okay week. Obviously, if he doesn't have his stuff with his ball striking, he's not going to be able to lean on anything to play well. But that's pretty much the same thing with any player. So if they don't have their asset, they don't have their best game, they're not going to play well. That's it for my top 6 value plays, guys. Let me know in the comments who your favorite value play under $7,500 is for a chance to win my Patreon for free. That's my PGA projections with my ownership rankings, game theory, player poll, all that fun stuff, so make sure to enter. My ownership reaction video is going to be out tomorrow rather than out on Wednesday this week. I'm trying to get my content out a little bit earlier than I have been in the past to give you guys more time to digest it, and also so that more people can see it before the event actually starts. So look forward to that tomorrow afternoon. I'll have my fades and sleeper picks as usual. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to give a like and a subscribe if you guys enjoyed the content. It makes sure that you guys are able to catch it as soon as I post in the future. It also makes sure that you guys can help me grow the channel. Every like gives me a little bit more exposure, so I really, really appreciate it. Good luck with your lineups this week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for your ownership reaction video.